All right, it's time for QB1, and I'm joined by Tim Ryan for that. Tim, thanks for being with me. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins in this episode of QB1. A lot of people were on the Minnesota bandwagon coming into this year, and so far they're rolling right now. I mean, they've got the division lead. Is this the time for Kirk Cousins to prove himself as a franchise NFL QB, so to speak?
Yeah, it is a little weird to have, Kirk Cousins and franchise, QB paired together. But he's here. He's doing really well. Fantasy owners would know that. But it is a little unusual that, Kirk Cousins is doing that good. It's just not, we all like to make jokes, but it's kind of unbelievable. And he puts up the numbers.
Yeah, if you've got him on your fantasy team, especially over the last 3 weeks, you're in pretty good shape. And it's interesting when you look at what transpired over the last week in the NFL, Christian McCaffrey going to the Niners, and then all of a sudden a lot of people started talking about, well, what about a trade for Kirk Cousins? I mean, they're doing so well to start the season, and people are already trying to predict what he's going to do in the offseason next year. Maybe the Niners as a potential landing spot for him. I mean, do you see Kirk Cousins sticking around Minnesota, maybe starting to pick up some momentum here and being the guy there?
I mean, he has reached the point, and thanks to Justin Jefferson, that's a lot of help. But it is kind of remarkable that, his days in Washington and now, what he's doing, it's just kind of, he's the chief of the NFC right now. I mean, the NFC isn't looking good. We all know that. But the fact that he's kind of the leader of the NFC right now says a lot. But I think he's here to stay.
How much of that is things breaking Minnesota's way? Aaron Rodgers is clearly having issues. The Packers are not what they were, losing Devontae Adams. I think he's frustrated with the offense. The NFC is weaker by far when you compare the two conferences. So how much of this is Kirk Cousins playing better than we've seen him play in the past? And how much of this is the NFC being open for the taking? And if you lose the division, like, how could you?
Right. No, that's very fair. And I'm still baffled by what's going on in Green Bay. It's truly like you think each week something's going to break. He's going to throw for 400 or whatever. It's not happening. It's truly remarkable. It's a bit of a break between, how bad the NFC is and how good his receivers are.
Is there anything, just because we focus in on the quarterback on these QB1s, fundamentally that you're seeing that's different, or is it just the advantage for Kirk Cousins right now of having a receiving core that is so talented that will make big plays? I mean, are you seeing a jump in productivity, talent, the ceiling being elevated for this guy, or is everything just kind of falling into place?
I think we've all been a little unfair to Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback, and we like to make the jokes. It's nonstop. But obviously his weapons are, aren't hurting him. But he's a pretty good quarterback, and with the NFC the way it is, he could, walk away or walk into the NFC Championship without a doubt.
I like that as kind of the headline for this QB1, that everybody needs to stop ragging on Kirk Cousins, so to speak, right? I mean, we tend to put quarterbacks into the upper echelon of the, I don't know, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady in his prime, sort of, upper echelon. And then it's kind of everybody else. But all of these guys, most, if not all, are elite. And Kirk Cousins, I guess, has been that way for quite some time. And maybe it's time now that everybody just gives him a chance and stops ragging on him so much.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, myself included. He puts up the numbers. He's legitimately a great quarterback. And when we talk about those elder fellas, they're not exactly lighting it up. So
age comes for all of us. And so we'll end on this note, I guess. When you look at fantasy owners who have Kirk Cousins, and clearly they've been happy over the last couple of weeks in particular, in your mind, with the way that the NFC is breaking, the strength of schedule, whatever it might be, I mean, do you see him as sort of a safe bet for fantasy owners, for Viking fans throughout the rest of the year? I know you just mentioned a moment ago that an NFC championship is certainly well within reach for this squad if they continue to play the way they've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the rosters and comparative such, San Francisco. I mean, Jimmy's going to be Jimmy, but the idea of those two facing off in an NFC championship is not exactly unheard of. That could absolutely happen.